Chapter 78 of Kagurabachi was crazy. Lots of exciting things to talk about this chapter, but first, I'm gonna dial it back real quick, because I am pissed today. Now my mood's gotten a little up, but I'm gonna get mad again, because it's worth it. I implore you to listen to this rant. I was so excited to film this video. I had a whole new setup, planned in my head. I was gonna edit it differently. We're still gonna edit it that way, but I have an actual camera. It's a work in progress, though, because I got a charger for my camera because I lost it. Ordered it on Amazon, hoping it would get here in time. It did. The charger does not work. So then I was like, well, after the chapter, I'll just run over to Best Buy. They'll be open by then. I'll get a charger for my camera. Be good to go. I go to Best Buy. No charger. They don't have the charger. And they don't even have battery chargers. How the f*** does Best Buy not have chargers? It's Best Buy. I was in my car, defeated, pissed, listening to the Muppets 1970 soundtrack. Because all I could think was I could be talking about Azami's fine ass by now, but instead, I'm in my car, Eustace, named after the One Piece character, pissed because Best Buy didn't have chargers. Saw a lizard on my way into the apartment. What's up, little dude? And then I was like, I need to eat or I will die. So then I made a pot pie, and I was pissed about that too. I didn't have effort to make anything else because I was done with the day already. Then I took a fat piss. I know my bathroom decor is really inspired. So this format is a work in progress. I'm gonna see if this new method works. I think it's gonna be good, so this might be the move. I'll have an actual camera. Other than that, this should be how it functions. All right, guys, we're gonna watch my mood shift in 3, 2, 1. Lucky. Oh man, Hokuzono cooked with this one. For volume 7 coming out in Japan, Hokuzono drew Shiba again. Oh my god. His Twitter doodles of Shiba are so beautiful. Like, blonde boy, if you don't come over here. My address is actually in my notes. Mind the vulgarity. In my notes for this video, I wrote in all caps, Shiba art nutting gah. Did that come across? My fit is fire. I don't know if you noticed. See my fishy shirt? It's a Kagurabachi shirt. It's unofficial, of course. And this is not sponsored or advertisement. This is just for the love of the game. Yeah, that's the whole reason I had my hair up. Because my back shows Chihiro. We're gonna take it out now, though. Hair is down, and now we are going to talk about this chapter, finally. Our previous chapter ended with Hiruhiko on the ground, and Samura and Chihiro were about to square up. We're about to rumble. First off, surprising we're doing this so early. Here's my address to the Uruha Nation. Because this chapter starts with Chihiro saying, in theory, how Samura should not be able to revive the dead, which makes it seem like the Uruha Nations are lower than ever. We're hitting a low. But we know that Chihiro literally got revived, and Samura, literally revived himself, because there's no way you survive getting stabbed that many times. And Chihiro literally says that he must have evolved since the war. So, Uruha Nation, don't falter. We're good. We're chilling. Our stocks are still high. Do not falter, brothers. Do not falter. We mustn't. And then Samura, to my poor baby Hiruhiko on the floor, has done nothing wrong ever in his life. Samura's like, time to finish this guy off. And I'm sitting here like, no you don't, Samura, not today, pal, not today. And then, he was agreeing with me. Kuguri? It's Kuguri. Kuguri? I can't say shit. Kuguri comes in with the clutch. Twilight Wave, a power built up over 7 months unleashed. We kind of underestimated his game. And also, guys, this is not going to sound as a shock at this point if you've watched any of my videos. But hear me out. Hear me out on Kuguri, okay? I never really paid mind before. But, now that I get a closer look, he could hit me with that Twilight Wave any day. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna somber it out. We're mellowing out. No more calling people hot for now. We're gonna talk about Hiruhiko, we're bringing it down again, getting real somber because I really liked the panel where they're holding on to him, and I really liked this whole interaction in general. I was really like reading it real slow, trying to like soak it all in. When Kuguri was introduced, he was kind of shit-talking Hiruhiko low-key, so it's nice to see that besides him saying all that stuff, he really does care for Hiruhiko. It seems like it goes deeper than like a co-worker type of dynamic and bond that these people all have together. And I wish Hiruhiko could see that, because he is so devastated by Chihiro's neutralness, as if Chihiro is all he has, because that's what the narration told us before. But like, his teammates are right there and being like, are you okay? Prioritized getting him out of there instead of Kumiyuri out of there, which we'll circle back to in a second. But it really seems like they do care for him. And of course we don't know everything about the inner dynamics of the Hishaku, or I'm not even gonna pretend to understand the inner machinations of Hiruhiko. But I really wish he could see that other people do care for him clearly, and I just don't think he realizes that. Or maybe he does realize and it's just not enough for him, or I don't know. Hiruhiko's really interesting, and I'm not, like I said, not gonna understand exactly how he mentally functions, because clearly there's some screws loose. He's also been through a lot. But it really is sad seeing him so down, like I mentioned before, but now it's been expanded on. When he said, "kill me," followed by his observation that Chihiro feels nothing for him, not even hatred, like, that hit, man. That was sad. The expression he has and the state he's in says enough here, really. This is definitely the most vulnerable we have ever seen Hiruhiko, and I don't think this will be the last of these vulnerable moments for Hiruhiko either, as he tackles both the physical and mental toll that this whole event has taken on him. I'm excited to see how he reflects on all of this, and I'm excited to see how he'll grow from here. And I said we'd circle back to this. Kumiyuri is not in Hiruhiko's possession anymore. What? Give my baby his sword back. Give it back. I like it. But it is really sweet that Kuguri prioritized saving Hiruhiko over the sword. Like, that is so sweet. Like, that's so cute. I could cry. It's touching. It's touching, guys. The villain group is having really touching stuff going on here. Then we go back to Chihiro, and there's just as much to say here, because Chihiro reveals that he knows the secrets of the Seitai War and the Swordmaster. Hello? Shiba actually told him, and I really like this whole show don't tell play by Hokuzono here. This information really reframes the whole hotel portion of this arc. Because Chihiro did seem a little bit dismissive throughout this whole thing, I think, and his eyes have been drawn a bit duller and a little bit less full of life, I guess. Like, his eyes were definitely drawn carrying some type of sadness with him, and like, I noticed this before too. I was like, wow, his eyes look pretty dull, like, throughout all of this. That's not a complaint or anything. It was just kind of like, oh, he's feeling some type of thing. But for it to be this is crazy. Of course, the best example of his eyes is the expression he makes when he tells Samura that he knows what happened during the war. He looks really sad here, but he also looks unsure, and he clearly hasn't processed everything that was told to him, or he doesn't know how to process it. And as he shouldn't, this should be a lot to comprehend and handle, because this information made him question the character of his father, the man he's doing this whole revenge trip for in the first place. We're really getting mental with the characters in this chapter, with both Hiruhiko and Chihiro, and I love to see vulnerability in characters and kind of dive into that aspect of things. I enjoy that so much. Also, I really like Samura knowing, one, of course it was Shiba that told him, and he's like, that bastard, like, of course. And two, I really like that Samura immediately comforted Chihiro and told him not to question the integrity of his father and assured him that Kunishige was a good man. I really like that even though they were enemies, literally squaring up to fight, that he was like, hey, don't question that, okay? Like, your dad's a hero. Like, he was doing his best. It was a really good character moment for Samura. Especially when he's, I'd say, upset that Chihiro didn't exactly comprehend what he was trying to say. That he almost didn't believe him or didn't know what to believe. And Samura is thrown off by this. And I loved despite his wavering emotions, all of the emotions that Chihiro is feeling right now, that he still doubles down on what he came here to do, and he tells Samura straight up, what your daughter needs is you, not the Swordmaster dead. She needs you. And then he doubles down and he's like, that's why I took my sword back, and that's why I'm going to stop you. I love his determination, despite all of the things that he's learned, that he is still like, yeah, and I'll fuck you up too. Like, I love that he stood proud and is ready, rearing to go, no matter what. It was very, very good moment for Chihiro here. Bye-bye to Chihiro for today, because we are at the Kamunabi invasion. It's happening. And of course, we're analyzing the fuck out of this because there's a traitor among us. And of course, I'm reading all this text, looking for red flags here. The bearded man with the little balls on his head, little sus. His instructions are to allow the Hishaku to raid the first level. And of course, his reasoning here is sound, supposedly, could be. Because he's like, we're protecting the civilians, let them in so everyone outside stays safe. That reasoning is sound enough, unless, of course, there could be ulterior motives, and he's like, oh yeah, let them come in, we're protecting the civilians, but really it's let them in because we're gonna let them do what they want to do, right? Of course, this guy is not in the infamous traitor panel, but I don't think that completely rules him out, but I think the choice of those 4 in the panel is pretty intentional. So this guy should be in the clear, but I'm making note of this. Real interesting setup that this security guy has. Real cool design here too. 7 Hishaku members? 7? The rest of the 7 are here? The lot of them? They're all here. They're all here. Okay, this is fine. Everything's fine. Guys, everything's okay. Calm down. You calm down. Also, ding ding. My sus meter is going off again. Unfortunately, this time it's for Azami. Hey, they're good looking. Anyway, it could be considered a little suspicious that Azami was immediately first to spring up and be like, I'll take him, because on one hand, he immediately volunteered to fight the Hishaku. So he was quick to action to stop them, and that should show his loyalty, but on the other hand, my southpaw. Fuck. He could have been quick to action in disguise of stopping the Hishaku to actually run up there to stop them and actually join forces with them. Of course, that is indeed, if he's the traitor. I'm still team, he's not. I love Azami, he's hot. I trust his dynamic with Shiba and Kunishige. They were 3 friends since high school. They were at least Chihiro's age when they all became friends and functioned as a group. They've known each other for a very long time. So in my head, I trust Kunishige's circle enough that Azami is a good guy. Except the guy he trusted most was the Swordmaster, and we saw what happened there. So maybe I shouldn't trust Kunishige's guess of character. But we'll see, you know. And of course, I'm not jumping ship to the Azami traitor theory, because I'm once again going to suss out that little short guy. I'm gonna suss out the old short man again, just like in some of my previous videos. We get a lot of internal monologue here, and a lot of it's like, I thought the Hishaku were gonna do this, or they must have been waiting on that, blah, blah, blah. And of course it seems like, oh, like, well, he's guessing their plans because he's a high up in the Kamunabi, and he needs to kind of think like the enemy and predict like what they're gonna do, because it's his job to keep things in line at Kamunabi headquarters. Or he could be wondering how their plan is going because he's in on the plan. You never know, guys. I don't think him being like, I didn't think they were gonna do this, and his whole like, well, I sent blah, 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 security, all the things. I don't think that rolls him out. I'm still very sus of the old guy. I'm telling you, my money's on it's him. Is that partly because I don't want it to be Azami? Maybe, but when I'm right, don't pull this up. Don't pull this up as reference and I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then pull this up as reference and I can flex on everybody and be like, yeah, it was the old short guy all along. You know how it is. Kagurabachi girl YouTube, always right. That's me. I do think we're getting that traitor reveal though soon, like for sure. I can feel it in my bones. If we're getting it, it's gonna be here during this invasion. And if it's not, I will be shocked. Azami said, I'll hit him. But I say, you can hit this any day, Azami. What? Who said that? Who said that? Okay, guys, and now we're here. What we've been waiting for, what I've been waiting for. The return of our best boy. The return of our beloved little nosebleeder. Our return of our brain surgery champion. Hakuri! He's back, baby. He's back. He is back in business, baby, and you know he is rearing up and ready to go. I don't know what came over me, and excitement does work in mysterious ways, but when I scrolled to the next page and saw Hakuri, I dove off of my couch onto my tile floor out of excitement for seeing him again. And thank God I was carrying a blanket with me. And thank God I have good form from my softball days of diving, because otherwise that would have really hurt. Yeah, and I also have a video of right after that when I rolled back up, I was squealing on my floor out of excitement. Here's that. Good shit. Thank you, Hakuri. So excited to see you back in action. That last chapter tried to say that you were not relevant anymore. Well, guess what, bitch? And we're gonna circle on back for one more thing, because when the old guy was thinking, he mentions in his internal monologue that he sent Shiba and Hiyuki to security. One, why is the old man in contact with Shiba? Shiba's supposed to hate his ass, probably. And number two, he should hate Shiba. So what's going on here? I know a lot of things happen off screen, like Shiba telling Chihiro about the war. So this is probably something similar to that, I guess, or maybe there's some type of reason why Shiba's still in contact with this Kamunabi member specifically. Who knows? It kind of makes me worried since I'm sus of the old guy. Maybe, guys, maybe I'm wrong, but I know I'm not, you know? Also, everyone on Twitter was like, oh, darn, Shiba's not here. Shiba and Hiyuki aren't here. Like, what are we gonna do? Shiba can literally teleport. Shiba can literally teleport him and other people. So, why can't he get to headquarters? Snap of a finger. I can't snap. Ignore that. But yeah, he can literally teleport to HQ and problem solved. No, whatever. We'll see, I guess. Also, there was a translation error this chapter that said Hibiki instead of Hiyuki, which, whatever. Little silly, but come on, English translators, get it going. We don't want another John Weary situation. Which I'm only mentioning this because in the hotel, the room that Kuguri popped out of said Hibiki room. So I'm like, is that supposed to say Hiyuki room? Or is that room actually Hibiki room? And then they accidentally put Hibiki instead of Hiyuki because they were already thinking Hibiki. I don't know. I tried to hit up a newly acquired pal that knows Japanese, but he hasn't answered me in time of recording of this video. Okay, I have an update. My pal answered. It means sound room. The hotel, the sign, sound room in Japanese, apparently. That's what he said. I'm gonna trust it. Interesting. Makes more sense than Hiyuki room. I'm really curious what that translation problem was, but there we go. There's our answer. Weird translation error there. What do you guys think about this chapter? Comment that down below. I would love to hear it. I love hearing people's thoughts about Kagurabachi. I love reading any comment, really. I love comments so much. Also, do we think we're going to pick up next chapter with Hakuri, or are we going back to Chihiro again? Because last time we cut to the Kamunabi, the chapter began with Chihiro again. So what are we thinking? Personally, I think we're going to stay with Hakuri and see how things go down there, and then maybe go back to Chihiro, or maybe not, because I think they're low-key talking it out. Like I said before last video, I don't really think that Chihiro and Samura are gonna fight. I think they're gonna handle things mostly by talking. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe if they pull up to headquarters together, they catch wind of what's going on, or like, shit, we know Samura can teleport, and I know he's technically like working with the Hashaku, but like, not really, you know what I mean? Like, he tried to attack Hiruhiko. I think that whole plan's kind of out of the table for them at this point. It doesn't really seem like Samura's going to be working with them anymore. But that also depends, would Samura even want to go to headquarters? I think Chihiro will end up there somehow, probably, because I feel like there's no way all of this goes down and he's just in a hotel with Samura. But honestly, that would low-key go hard, like, kind of give everyone else their, like, moment to shine or whatever. So excited for next chapter. We survived the break week, guys, and it was so worth it because this chapter was outstanding. It was so good. So yeah, like I said, a comment down below and subscribe because I'm the Kagurabachi girl of YouTube. I upload chapter videos all the time. Give this video a big ol' thumbs up too. Subscribe, like, comment, all the things. I have socials as well. They're linked to my channel if you want to check those out. I hope you have a great day. Keep spreading that Kagurabachi propaganda. Aruka's still alive, by the way. Bye!